Well, India just introduced a new law called the Shanti Bill 2025. And it is making headlines because for the first time, it lets private companies take part in nuclear energy. Wait, you've heard that right? Nuclear energy. You will all say, sir, it is super sensitive and dangerous. Well, yes, that's exactly why people are talking about it. The government says this law will help India produce more clean power faster. At the same time, the critics worry, will it be safe? Will private companies take over too much? Well, these are the questions. So, for making it easier for you, I'm going to break it down in simple terms. This law is about making nuclear power faster, safer, and more modern, while keeping the most dangerous parts, that is the fuel, under the government control. Now, let's also see the rationale behind why government made this bill. India needs a lot more of electricity and it needs it fast. About which all things, data centers are going to be there, hospitals are there, electric vehicles, and they're growing cities. We need clean and reliable power 24/7. Nuclear power is certainly one source which can help. It is low carbon, it is stable, and does not depend on weather like solar or wind. But building nuclear plant takes time and also a lot of money. Until now, only government companies were allowed to do this. So the Shanti Bill completely changes it by letting private players, companies build and operate nuclear power plants. The goal is to make things generally move a bit more faster, bring in new technology, and also to reduce pressure on the government. But the government says this won't mean giving up control. What does it mean by that? Let me explain. Well, here's what completely the Shanti Bill changes. Let's talk about it. First of all, it's private participation. Private companies now, you have Tata Power, you have Ambani's, you have Adani Power also coming forward to join nuclear projects. But they would control sensitive material like uranium or the waste itself. There's also new rules for safety. Indian Nuclear Safety Agency, like the one that we call is the acronym for AERB, will now get full legal power to make rules and inspect plants. This makes a system stronger and more transparent. There's also another very important fact to it is clear liability system. If something is to go wrong, who is responsible? This is where you have to understand. The bill says the plant operator is responsible for compensation. There'll be government fund to help with big disasters, and India can also access international funds if needed. The one major change is there's no supplier liability because of which the foreign companies were not willing to come to India. Earlier companies that made parts could be held responsible also, but now that is what was scaring all the major players away. Now only the operator is liable, not the one who's supplying the parts. That is something that is there. The most important thing that we have to talk about is the SMRs. Now you'll ask me, what is SMR? These are support for small reactors or modular reactors, which generally we have, you all have seen coal power plants are there. Now, the government is looking forward to replacing that by SMRs, which is a new nuclear technology that is safer and also quicker to build. At the same time, the government says the new bill is only about peaceful purposes. The law still says nuclear energy in India will only be used for peaceful and public purposes like electricity, cancer treatment, agriculture, and research. Now, the question is it safe and who is in control? Well, the minister Jatinder Singh explained it and made it very clear that private companies will not control dangerous stuff. What is dangerous stuff is the fissile material like enriched uranium, heavy water, spent fuel, that's the nuclear waste, they will not control it. These things will always stay under the government control. All plants will be checked regularly by India's Nuclear Safety Agency. And also penalties and jail terms still apply if a company is careless or hides the problem. So, yes, private companies can help build and run the plants, but the government keeps control of the core materials and safety. Now, let's come to the final end of it. What is the entire crux of it? The Shanti Bill is a big step for India's future. It mixes government control for safety. It also brings in private help for speed and innovation because we need to reach a target of 100 gigawatts by 2047. And nuclear energy would be one of the major sources. Why? Because it means we're looking at cleaner air. Coal is much more pollutant, so we need cleaner air. We need cheaper energy, and also we need fewer power cuts. But it also means strong rules and serious responsibility in the present case. So whether you can talk about climate change, jobs, or just having 24-hour electricity, this law could shape how India powers up for the next 20 years. Well, if you found this video really helpful, hit the like and subscribe for more simplified policy breakdowns and the latest bills that are recently being passed in the parliament. This is Hartad signing off. Jai